The drama surrounding the Indiana Fever's battle against the Seattle Storm was supposed to be another chapter in their miracle run without Caitlin Clark. But what unfolded on that hardwood was bigger than basketball. It became the latest flashpoint in what many are now calling the WNBA's officiating crisis. And at the center of it all was Sophie Cunningham, lying on the court after getting thrown to the floor, and Caitlin Clark, watching helplessly from the bench, unable to hold back. Her fury, what happened in that moment, wasn't just a missed call. It was a full-blown indictment of everything that's gone wrong in the WNBA's approach to player safety and officiating consistency. The hit was obvious. Sophie had just secured a clean rebound, and out of nowhere, a Seattle player bulldozed into her like it was Sunday night football. The ref right there, front row, not 5 feet away. And yet, silence. No whistle, no call, no consequence. From the bench, Caitlin Clark rose to her feet, visibly livid. Her voice cut through the noise. You were right in front of her. Why did you change your mind? It wasn't just a protest. It was an eruption, the boiling over of weeks of mounting frustration. And frankly, who could blame her? The Fever's star has missed 7 straight games nursing a groin injury. Every night she sits there watching her teammates get mauled with no accountability from the stripes. On this night, it was Cunningham who took the blow, but the damage runs deeper, because this wasn't just one bad call. It was a crystal-clear snapshot of a league spiraling into chaos due to officiating that can only be described as unprofessional, and at times, downright dangerous. Sophie's collision was so egregious, so blatant, that fans across the country couldn't believe what they were seeing, and they weren't alone. Players, coaches, analysts, everyone's fed up. The Indiana Fever may have eked out a 78-74 win, but the bigger story was the circus surrounding the officiating. This league is being suffocated by missed whistles, bizarre rulings, and an inconsistency that's left players scratching their heads and fans screaming into the void. The refs aren't just inconsistent, they're incompetent.
One night,
a hand check is a foul. The next, a full-on tackle is play on. What kind of standard is that? Across the board, WNBA athletes are raising the alarm. Kelsey Plum has been to press conferences with scratches on her face, furious over the beating she takes every night with barely a whistle in return. Becky Hammon. She's not even hiding her frustration anymore. Now Sophie Cunningham has become the visual representation of this league-wide reckoning, thrown to the floor in plain sight. No call, nothing. Even more outrageous. Sophie was fined $500 just weeks ago for making a TikTok mocking the referees. Imagine that. Fined for a joke, but the player who body-checked her in a live game walks away scot-free. That's all you need to know about the WNBA's current priorities. They're policing memes harder than they're policing on-court violence. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert made it worse when she claimed that only losing teams complain about officiating. Well, someone needs to remind her that Indiana is winning. 5 straight games, in fact, and they're still getting butchered by the refs. Clark's team is at the heart of this storm, not because they're sore losers, but because they're being targeted night after night. If you wear a Fever jersey this year, it might as well have a bullseye on it. But in the middle of this mess, Sophie Cunningham has emerged as something more than just a survivor. She's become the heart and soul of this team. With Caitlin sidelined, Sophie has carried the load, and against Seattle, she went nuclear. 5 of 6 shooting, 4 of 5 from deep. 17 points. She was the only Fever player to hit a 3 all night. That's not a stat, that's a savior. They went for FOR 2-1 from downtown. Sophie hit all 4. The blonde bomber, as fans are now calling her, has transformed from a scrappy role player into a full-blown star. And it's not just the buckets, it's the attitude, the fire. Ever since she backed Clark during the Connecticut brawl, she's been on a different level, and the fan base knows it. She gained 800,000 followers, and now her jersey is flying off shelves. But what's more important is the way she's performing in the clutch. Her rise has been meteoric, and it couldn't come at a better time. The Fever have needed her brilliance, especially during this stretch of nearly blowing games in the fourth quarter. Against Seattle, they nearly let another one slip. Up 55-42 in the third, comfortable, confident, until the wheels came off again. They let Seattle go on a 10-2 run to close the quarter, shrinking a 13-point cushion to just 4. From there, it was a heart attack waiting to happen. The Storm clawed to within 1 with 3 minutes left. The Fever looked rattled, like they'd seen this movie before and knew it rarely had a happy ending. Kelsey Mitchell, ice cold, she finished 3 of 16 from the field and 0-for-8 from 3. Watching her shoot was like watching a drummer miss every beat of a solo. Thankfully, Aaliyah Boston picked the perfect time to remember she's one of the best bigs in the league. She exploded with 16 points and 12 rebounds, her 6th straight double-double. And when Indiana needed a hero down the stretch, it wasn't Mitchell or even Cunningham who pulled them out of the fire. It was Boston who went on a personal 9-point run in the fourth that saved the game. Boston's resurgence has been a quiet but powerful narrative. After struggling in the first stretch without Clark, she's finding her groove again. Her footwork in the paint, her passing out of the post, her relentless rebounding, she's doing it all, and it's giving Indiana the backbone they desperately need. Add to that the steady leadership of Natasha Howard, and suddenly, Indiana's no longer just treading water without Clark. They're thriving. Howard dropped 21 points and anchored the team with veteran poise. She's not flashy, but she's smart, makes the right cuts. It's timely shots, plays within herself. And on a team with this much youth, that kind of discipline is priceless. Still, despite the heroics, this one almost slipped away. Seattle had every chance to win. Skylar Diggins had 2 clean looks from deep. Missed both. Nika Ogwumik vanished late. Gabby Williams had a shot to tie it at the buzzer wide open, and it rimmed out. Sometimes the ball just doesn't bounce your way. The loss dropped Seattle to 16-13. And more importantly, they've now lost 3 of their last 4 at home. With the playoff race jammed tighter than ever, that's a brutal trend. Every game matters now, and every missed opportunity feels like a dagger. Meanwhile, Indiana improves to 17-12, 5th in the standings, owning tiebreakers over Seattle and Las Vegas. That's huge, especially considering how bleak things looked when Clark first went down. Nobody expected them to survive, let alone thrive. But now they're 9-7 without her. That's not just survival, that's momentum. And yet, the elephant in the room remains. Where's Caitlin Clark? She arrived at the arena in full game day attire. Shorts, sneakers, ready to go, but never suited up. The team is being vague. They say recovery is going well, no setbacks. It's just being cautious. But fans are beginning to wonder if there's more to the story, because time is ticking. The playoffs are almost here, and every day she's out is one less chance to build chemistry before the real pressure begins. Still, the Fever are holding firm, and they're doing it against not one, but 2 opponents each night. Their scheduled rival and the referees who seem determined to derail them. This team deserves better. Right. The league deserves better. The fans deserve better. Referees are supposed to control the game, not become the storyline. But right now, they're stealing the spotlight. Blown calls, missed fouls, dangerous play being ignored. It's not just bad, it's reckless. The WNBA is growing. Viewership is up. Interest is peaking. But all of that could come crashing down if the games feel unsafe and unfair. Caitlin Clark screaming from the bench wasn't just about one foul. It was about every hit she's taken, every elbow ignored, every time the refs looked the other way. Sophie being slammed with no whistle was just the latest brick in a wall of frustration that's been building all season. It's going to come crashing down unless something changes fast. Indiana's 5-game win streak should be the headline. So should Cunningham's emergence, Boston's dominance, and Howard's consistency. But instead, all anyone is talking about is the officiating disaster. And that's the real tragedy. Because this team is special. They've proven they can win ugly. They've proven they can win without their star. And they've proven they've got the grit to survive anything the league throws at them. But they shouldn't have to do it with one hand tied behind their back. If Caitlin Clark returns soon, and if the Fever keep getting contributions from every corner of the roster, this team could do real damage in the playoffs. But they Need help? Not from the refs, just fairness, just consistency, just a level playing field. Until then, Sophie Cunningham is holding the line. The blonde bomber is out here taking hits, draining threes, and refusing to back down. And if there's one thing the WNBA should celebrate, it's that. A star born not in ease, but in chaos. If you're as sick of the referees ruining games as the rest of us, drop a spicy Sophie in the comments. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a breakdown. And let us know, what would you do to fix WNBA officiating? We'll see you in the next one.